Our first point of departure will be to analyze what zombies actually are and how we might think through them. To think through an issue is to see it from all perspectives, angles, viewpoints, and dead zones where the signal has been dropped. Through here means that we're using zombies as a tool in order to analyze culture in all its forms. What does thinking through tell us? We go through a door to enter a room. We look through binoculars or scopes to get a clearer and closer view. We also use the phrase, "I see through you," as if to say we can sense deception. We see through a screen that protects us from the swarm of insects. The screen divides the inside from the outside. We can hear the buzz of flies and hornets, but are not bitten or stung. In this sense, zombie films are a type of screen that allows us to view the world from a different perspective and angle. A thinking through is also a thinking back. Zombies here are a symbolic mirror that reflects our own collective behavior back to us. From a literal point of view, I don't find zombies very interesting or believable, and I have even been on zombie walks. They don't make much sense, but perhaps this is the point, since the great events of the 20th century did not make much sense at all. Here I speak as a kind of expert of seeing dead bodies. In 1997, when I was 31, I was in the Croatian city of Vukovar, where I witnessed the exhumation of a mass grave. Hundreds of bodies were taken out of the ground by forensic specialists of the UN. The aftermath of that experience sent me into a depressive, anxiety-filled spiral that took many years to resolve. Up to that point, I thought I knew about death, since I read books about it. But seeing so many dead bodies at once provided me with a real education that really can't be described. Naturally, I was drawn to zombies through my own experience of seeing so many dead and decaying bodies all at once. Movie graphics and special effects are one thing, but I got to witness the real thing. Movies certainly do provide you with a sensory experience, but it is an experience devoid of smell. I know what the dead do. I know because I was surrounded by them. I was in the dirt with them. The dead smell sweet and rotten, like garbage coated in thick honey on a hot and humid day. It is an utterly unique and singular smell that our deodorized culture has attempted to do away with. I can catch the memories of the event in the fall as the leaves begin to tumble down and the green of the earth fades into the dirt once more. I've spent the last 20 years of my life trying to make sense of that mass grave experience through my writing, through my art, and through teaching philosophy. The ancient Greeks linked truth to seeing. Truth was seen by the light of reason. The ancient Hebrews linked truth to hearing. Truth was heard through the ears of faith. My postmodern position links truth to the smell of death and life. Films present us with images devoid of smell. One of the best recent books on zombies is Greg Garrett's Living with the Dead, The Wisdom of the Zombie Apocalypse. Here, the word apocalypse is important. It does not mean the end of the world. Apocalypse means unveiling or stripping bare so the truth can be revealed. In religious terms, the apocalypse refers to the end times, to what happens at the end of the world in the great and final battle between good and evil. The world of the zombie apocalypse, as Garrett shows, reveals a world where nature has taken over culture, where our technology, other than weapons, are useless. Surviving rather than living is the key. Those left are thrown back into a hunter-gatherer existence, while attempts are made to refashion an agricultural society again. Garrett tells us that the zombie apocalypse has become one of the most prominent stories we tell in the 20th century. For many in the world today, the zombie apocalypse is not a story acted out in film, but a daily reality. This is the first thesis of the course. Zombie films are not really about zombies at all. Rather, they are about what humans do and do not do when they are in extreme circumstances. Zombie films show us the costs and means of survival. I don't watch zombie films to be revolted or scared into shock or to experience virtual violence. I don't see a point to this type of entertainment because I've actually seen what humans do and can do to each other. Zombies force us to take a hard look and a hard smell at what really goes on in our cultures. Do you survive at all costs, doing whatever you need in order to live another day? Do you keep your humanity intact? Or do you engage in reptile behavior like the governor? Do you starve or do you eat your own kind in the sanctuary of the terminus? In the face of adversity, is care, concern, and credibility thrown out the window in favor of death, demise, and destruction? Here I take the approach of Garrett, who writes that the zombie apocalypse offers a laboratory for observing human emotions and experience. Its excesses open up a multitude of responses that don't get explored in the course of our everyday lives, although these same choices lurk underneath the surface of all our lives. The second thesis of the course is that zombies are not the issue at all, whether they are fast, slow, or tall. The issue is, and always has been, humans who act in a monstrous and non-human way. Of course, from time immemorial, the history of humanity is full of examples where war, as the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus said, is the father of all. The history of our species is one of destruction, genocide, plague, and mass murder with little pockets of calm. What does it actually mean to be human today? How does this notion of being human relate to zombies in film? Those of us who live in relative prosperity in Canada might say there are no real problems other than weak Wi-Fi signals at Tim Hortons and traffic on the 401. But this is already a zombie reply. Why? The reply ignores the problems that most of the human population experience on a daily basis. For those who are fortunate to live in prosperity, the problems of others don't really seem to matter. We enter the zombie state of mind when we no longer care about others. And we can use zombie films as a prism to better understand the world around us and the choices that we make. The open grave of the zombie apocalypse allows us to open our minds with the help of philosophy so that we might make a better world possible.